Hello and welcome to Code with David. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to install Git on Windows. Now, without wasting much of our time, I'm going to be explaining to us what this Git is all about. Now, Git is a version control system. Okay, it helps you keep track of code changes. Now, as a developer, it is very important that you have Git running on your system. Okay, because when you're building projects, you will always want to keep track of your project, of your project changes. Okay, you want to keep track of the updates that you're making on your code. All right, so you want to keep track of those particular changes you are having on your project. So it's very important that you know how to use Git as a developer. All right, so also Git is used to collaborate on code. Okay, you have series of group of developers coming together to actually maybe build a project or something. So Git helps us to collaborate on a particular piece of project or code or something. Now, without wasting much of our time, let's move on to the GitHub. Now, before we move on to GitHub, let me just explain what GitHub is all about. GitHub is a location for uploading the codes of a Git repository. All right, it's a location where we upload the codes. All right, so it's very important that we know how to commit from Git into the GitHub website. So I'm just going to be giving you a little knowledge on how to do that on this video. Now let's move on. Let's go into our browser. So we'll just go to github.com. all right, I'm just going to show you github.com. so this is github.com. now it's very important that you sign up. If you don't have an account here, make sure you go down here, okay, to this very button here, and sign up is for free. Okay, they won't charge you anything for it. Just sign up, and you can come back here and we start this. Now, before we move on, I'm going to check. We're going to go to our C drive and check if we have Git on our system before we do anything. So just put cmd. Okay, go to your command prompt, and we're going to check if there is Git. So what you just do is just put git. Okay, all right, so Git is not recognized. All right, so it's very simple. So what the next thing you're going to do here is that after you've created a GitHub account, all right, now you just move down to GitHub for Windows. All right, just click enter, then you see Git desktop.github.com. so just click on that website. Now this will enable us to download GitHub for Windows. All right, so that's the next thing you should do. So you can see that we have the download for Mac, we have the download for Windows. So what you just need to do, click on this download button, and the moment you click on it, it starts downloading. I already have it here, so I'm not going to click on it. All right, so just do that and follow my next step. Now I have it here, so I'm just going to come down here, show in folder. After downloading, just go to the folder, and you will see the setup right here. So without wasting much of our time, we are going to run this setup on our Windows. So just click on it, double click on it, and just wait for a little while for it to run this particular setup. So it's not going to ask for anything. Once it starts running, it goes directly into your C drive, so it's not going to ask you for anything. All right, so we just wait a little. All right, and it is done. All right, so I have this my GitHub account here. Now what you're going to be seeing on your own PC is sign in with GitHub. Okay, so just click on that sign in. All right, because you already have an account. Okay, you will also see where we have create new account. All right, if you don't have an account, click on the create new account, but if you have an account, click on the sign in with GitHub. So that's clicking on that sign in with GitHub will help you to authenticate the account you have on your browser to this very one you have on your desktop. It will help you to authenticate it. All right, so without wasting much of our time, that is how to install the GitHub on your PC, all right, on your Windows. Now let's move on to Git. Okay, now Git is the version control system, and we also have to install the Git on our drive. All right, so we just go back to our browser and we'll go to the site git-scm.com. okay, so just come down to this site. Okay, so you come down here, so you have download for Windows. Click on this button, you have download for Windows. Now if you don't have it, just click here to download. All right, so we have the latest version, which is version 2.390, version 2.39.0. okay, so just click on this, click here to download, so it starts downloading immediately. All right, so if you have 32-bit, 64-bit, maybe you're using 32-bit, you just come here and click 32-bit setup. All right, if you are using 64-bit, you click here for 64-bit setup, but if you click here automatically, this is for 64-bit for Windows. All right, now without wasting much of time, I already have it, so I'm not going to click on it. Okay, so we just come down here after it's downloaded. After this the download is concluded, just come here and show in folder. All right, so I have it right here. So we are going to run this setup, so follow my lead. So I'm just going to double click on it. All right, so yes. Okay, all right, so just click next. Okay, all right, so on desktop, so just just click on desktop. All right, so we have Git. Okay, so you create a folder for this. All right, yes. Okay, so the next thing we have here, let Git decide, okay, or override the default branch name for new repository. Okay, so let's just click next. Okay, so the next thing we have, use bundle open SSH. This uses SSH Excel that comes with Git. Yes, so click next. So yes, the next thing, just click next. All right, so we have checkout Windows style commit Unix style line ending. Yep, just click next. Okay, so this particular one, use window default console window. All right, so instead of using the main TTY, okay, so just click on the use window default console. All right, so just click next. All right, so default password or match, yes, click next. All right, Git credential manager, click next. Okay, enabling file cache system, yep, click next. All right, then you are good to go, so it start installing. So we're just going to wait a little to make this particular setup installed. So we have this completed, I mean, so just click on finish, and that is all that you need to do for now. So just cancel this. All right, now let's go to our GitHub sign in. All right, so just put in your username and your password, then click on the sign in button, so it takes you to your GitHub account. Now I have this particular repository that I'm going to be bringing to our local drive. Okay, so firstly, what we are going to do here, just minimize. All right, so just go down to command prompt. All right, now we're going to use Git again. Okay, now we see that now it's showing that there is Git is now present on your Windows. Okay, so all these things you are seeing here are the different command that we use on Git. Okay, so we have clone, we have init, we have add, we have restore, we have all these things are different Git command that we use here. So what I'm just going to do here, I'm just going to show you how to briefly clone a particular repository that you have on your GitHub, okay, then show you how to commit a file on your GitHub. All right, just quickly, I'm just going to do that. All right, so nextly, we're just going to create a folder. So we just put cd desktop. Okay, then I'm going to create a folder. So I have mkr, then I have git underscore example. Oh, sorry. So I think I made a mistake. mkdir. Okay, so git underscore, sorry, underscore example. Okay, all right, so this folder has been created. So if you come down here, you will see that our git example has been created. So the next thing we are going to do here is to clone. We should clone the repository that we have on our GitHub. So let's come down here. Okay, so we have this React web app. So if you don't have a repository, what you just need to do is to go down to your GitHub, okay, and go to repositories. All right, then click on new. All right, just click on this new. It's very easy to create a repository. Just put a name and I think, yep, that's all. Just put a name and we use public or use private. So it's very easy to create a repository. Okay, so I'm just going to be using this React web app because I have the React course coming very shortly. So just come down here to code. All right, and we see we have HTTPS and SSH, and we have git CLI. So what we are going to be using here is HTTPS. So I'm just going to copy this and take it to my command prompt. All right, okay, so the next thing I'm going to use here is git clone. All right, then I'll paste what I actually the link I got from my GitHub repository. Now I want to take it to this folder, git example. All right, so what I'm just going to do here is I'm going to put git underscore example here at the end of it, then click enter. Okay, so it's going to clone it down to that folder. So what we are going to do here is that we're going to minimize this. All right, let's minimize that and go down to git example. Then you see that we have all our files that we have on the GitHub repo down here. All right, so if we go check it now, let's go to our GitHub. You see that I have license, I have readme md, I have git success, I have text, I have this is from PC. So every of those things are already on this git example. Okay, so what the next thing I'm going to do here, I want to show you how to quickly commit a file, okay, down to your git repository you have on GitHub. So just open a new file. So we're just going to create a new file. So it's text document. So I'm just going to give it git let's just give it git add a new file. Okay, so I'm just going to come here and have, yep, this is a new file to be committed on GitHub and Git. All right, so save. All right, and let's cancel that. So we have git add a new file. All right, so let's go back to our command prompt, and the next thing we are going to do here is to, the first command we're going to have here is just put cd git example underscore example. Okay, so we need to select that particular file first. All right, then let's have a git status. Let's put the status, let's put the new status we have here. Okay, so you see that there is an untracked file. So the untracked file that we have here is git add a new file. So this file was not there initially when it came down from GitHub. Okay, it wasn't there, so it's a new file that is here, so we have to add this file. Okay, we have to add it. All right, so what we are going to do here is that we are going to use the git add. Okay, so just put a period. Okay, and I'm just going to have git status again. All right, so you see that it's now on a green color. Now it's now added, and the changes to be committed is ready now to be committed on the git. All right, so the next thing we are going to do is to use git commit. You just put -m, and we're going to put a title. So we have add git new file. Okay, so just do that. Okay, add git new file. Okay, so I'm going to click enter. So it's telling us now that add git new file. Okay, one file change, insertion, create mode, git add a new file. All right, so this is ready to be added. So now we are going to push this particular file into the GitHub. Now it's ready. It's already committed. Okay, we've committed this particular file into Git. Now we want to push it to GitHub, so we're going to use git push, then just put -u origin is the location, then just put main. All right, enter. Okay, so let's just wait. Okay, so you see that automatically it is done. Now looking at this particular file has been committed, has been pushed into our GitHub, but I'm going to be showing you something. So let's go down to our GitHub and refresh. All right, now we see that we have the git add a new file already pushed to this repository. So we have the title add git new file that we had when we are trying to commit this. Okay, so if we click on it, you're going to see that we have here, this is a new file to be committed on Git. So this the description, this is the title, the words that we have inside that particular new file. So that's just how to actually do that. Let's go back to our command prompt. Now on your own PC, what you're going to be seeing is that it's going to want to authenticate. All right, it's going to request for username and password to authenticate that particular GitHub account. So once you do that, now you're free to push that particular file into your GitHub account. All right, so that is just all we need to do for this. Okay, if you have any question, if you have any errors, don't hesitate to text me or just hello me. I'm going to help you through the process. All right, so that's all for now. I believe you have you got value with what you just watched. All right, so that's all for now. I'm going to see you in our next sections, in our next training that we're going to be doing. So just sit tight and then wait for my next video, and thank you for your time, and bye for now. Ciao.